The world of K-pop is equal parts glamour and controversy. Too often, that volatile mix results in disaster or even unthinkable tragedy for the genre's biggest stars. When it comes to LE SSERAFIM, it didn't take long for controversy to taint the group's stardom. In fact, the scandal in question occurred less than a month after they debuted as a band. In 2022, it was announced that Kim Garam, who was 16 at the time, was being kicked out due to accusations that she was part of numerous bullying incidents at school. According to Vulture, some of those incidents included harassing younger students on Facebook and extortion. While Source Music and Hybe, LE SSERAFIM's label and management companies, initially denied the allegations and claimed that it was actually Garam who was the victim of bullying, they eventually reversed course and made the decision to boot her from the group. They shared in a joint statement, "Our company has decided to terminate the exclusive contract with Kim Garam. We extend our sincerest apologies to our fans, to those who have shown love and support to the group for causing you concern over the controversy involving the member." After she was cut, Garam went back to focusing on school and almost totally disappeared from the public eye. And though she made a reappearance on Instagram in May of 2025, with only a few posts to speak of as of this video, it doesn't look like she'll be returning to the spotlight anytime soon. Unlike Garam, superstar Seungri was able to enjoy a fairly long run of success before his deeds caught up with him. During his time with Big Bang, the group managed to dominate the airwaves in Asia and beyond, earning millions and forever securing their place in the hallowed halls of K-pop greatness. He also had a successful solo career and branded himself as the Jay Gatsby of Korea. As a Korean entertainment journalist, Jonghyun told the BBC this was because
어린 나이에 성공해서 모두를 불러서 가장 성대하게 파티를 열 수 있는 우리나라에 몇 안 되는.
But it all came crashing down for Seungri in 2019 when he was accused of providing prostitutes to foreign businessmen, a scandal that extended to numerous other powerful figures in South Korea's entertainment industry. He left Big Bang not long after the accusations were made. According to NPR, he was officially indicted in January 2020. In addition to the prostitution-related charges, he also faced charges involving embezzlement and illegal overseas gambling. The case was eventually transferred to military court after he enlisted in the army. 21 months of service is mandatory for all males who are physically fit for such duties in South Korea. In August of 2021, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay a fine of 1.15 billion won, which equates to about $990,000. After being discharged from the military in May of 2022, he was transferred to a civilian prison to serve the remainder of his time. In February of 2023, he was released after serving 18 months of his sentence. As you probably guessed, the world hasn't heard much about what he's been up to since. Sulli, once a member of the girl group FX, had her own share of controversies, but they were quite a bit different than those that haunt Garam or Seungri. Known for being a rebel in the industry, Sulli was outspoken on a variety of topics that still hit quite a few nerves in Korean culture: cyberbullying, mental health, and women's rights. Ultimately, she just wasn't afraid to be herself and talk about her problems, which is very uncommon in the K-pop realm. Some stars are even banned from doing so by their management companies. As K-pop columnist Jeff Benjamin told the BBC, K-pop artists are called idols in Korea, beings that must be ideal, perfect people and performers at all times, even in their personal lives. That being said, it comes as no surprise that her openness led to widespread criticism and being trolled online.
저한테만 유독 색안경 끼고 보시는 분들이 좀 많아서 좀 그런 것들이 속상하기는 하죠.
Still, despite this, she continued to speak out and be real with her fans all the way up until her untimely death at the age of 25 in October of 2019. In addition to there being no signs of foul play, police also found a memo that described her emotional state, which was enough to determine that she had likely taken her own life. After her death, many took to social media to praise her for her honesty and her bravery. As one person on X wrote, "Let's remember Sulli more for the things she fought for. She's one of the few famous and outspoken Korean figures that openly talks about feminism, mental disorders, and body positivity. A true trailblazer." Sulli's death wasn't the only death that shocked the K-pop world in 2019. Only a few weeks later, her friend Goo Hara, best known for being a member of the group Kara, was found dead at her home at the age of 28. It was later revealed that she had taken her own life. Her last Instagram post simply read, "Good night." And this wasn't the only time she tried to do so. 6 months prior, local news reported that her manager had found her unconscious in her home after a similar attempt. She would later apologize to her fans for causing concern and commotion. Turns out, her actions didn't come out of nowhere. According to The Guardian, she also had taken her boyfriend to court the year before after he threatened to post videos of them having intercourse online, which he had secretly recorded without her consent. This sort of illicit content, known as molka, is an ongoing epidemic in South Korea.
I feel anxious when I use public toilets. I'm always worried that I'm being spied on.
He was ultimately given a suspended sentence for blackmailing her and physically assaulting her. Though she was already subject to criticism and trolling like any other K-pop star, she was faced with an increased barrage of it following this legal saga. Like Sulli, who she referred to as a sister, she was haunted by this negative attention for the remainder of her life. In addition to her time spent with Kara, Hara enjoyed a successful solo career as well. She also appeared on television dramas like City Hunter. Fans continue to celebrate her and pay visits to her memorial room in South Korea. Another K-pop star who sadly took his own life was superstar Jonghyun. He was best known for being a vocalist in the band SHINee, and like many of his other K-pop brethren, he also had a thriving solo career. He was 27 when he died. Fellow singer 9, who was a close friend of Jonghyun, posted a note that was allegedly written by the star sometime before he passed. It was later confirmed by his management agency that his family had consented to 9 releasing it. The note read in part, "The depression that was slowly devouring me at last consumed me. What else can I say more? Just tell me I've done well, that this is enough, that I've worked hard. Even if you can't smile, don't fault me on my way." In an interview with the BBC, one of Jonghyun's interpreters spoke highly of him, claiming that he was a very grounded person who took his career seriously. He also said, "He was also very polite. Once, he just finished brushing his teeth when he saw me standing by the door. He hadn't even dried his mouth yet, but hurried to bow and greet me right away." While pretty much every K-pop star in this list enjoyed stretches of fame before controversy or tragedy struck, Ori's flame burnt out before it even had a chance to fully ignite. In fact, her popularity came and went so fast that you might not have heard of her, even if you're an avid K-pop fan. Here's what happened. Ori was hyped up before her official debut, the same way it goes for most budding K-pop stars. But when her debut actually came in January of 2009, her performance was a disaster. She sang off-key and struggled with maintaining a consistent rhythm. Afterward, rumors began to circulate, some of them claiming that she came from a rich family and that her father was a music executive who had basically purchased her career for her. She later denied these rumors. This, coupled with the embarrassment that followed her performance, was enough to destroy whatever chances she had at starting a successful career in the industry, and she completely disappeared from the public eye. Despite all the criticism that surrounded Ori, some K-pop fans have cut her some slack in the years since. As one Redditor said, "I feel really bad because most debuting idols do not have to sing live. Even if they're live, there's a pretty heavy backing track. Most idols during their debut showcase would sound like that 100% live, to be honest." In an interview with Sports Chosen 15 years after her debut debacle, Ori revealed what she's been up to since leaving the industry, saying, "After retiring from singing, I worked for a variety of companies, regardless of the industry. I even worked for an IT company and a veterinary hospital." Kangin, actor and former member of the K-pop band Super Junior, in addition to its spin-off groups Super Junior T and Super Junior H, was no stranger to controversy during his time in the spotlight. In 2009, only 4 years after his debut with the group, he was involved in a bar fight. A month later, he was involved in a DUI hit-and-run incident. Then, in 2015, he found himself in hot water after missing mandatory reserve army training, which his management company, SM Entertainment, had to apologize for. And 2 years later, he was involved in a physical altercation with a woman that ultimately didn't result in charges. By 2019, he'd been involved in enough scandals, both big and small, to warrant his departure from Super Junior. He explained his decision in an Instagram post, writing in part, "I have been all too sorry for other members, but couldn't make up my mind quickly due to people who steadfastly support me. But I finally decided that this decision cannot be further delayed while watching the members suffering unnecessary issues because of my trouble." He stayed out of the K-pop spotlight for years, instead posting vlog videos to YouTube and more recently doing fan meeting tours around the world. Another K-pop superstar and actor who dropped off the face of the earth for a while before attempting to claw his way back to relevancy is Park Yoo-chun, former member of the bands TVXQ and JYJ. His troubles began nearly 10 years ago when he was accused by 4 different women of sexual assault between 2016 and 2017. Though he was acquitted due to lack of evidence, he also faced civil lawsuits, which resulted in paying one of the women who accused him of misconduct. 2 years later, he was arrested for purchasing and using methamphetamine. He was subsequently sentenced to a suspended 10-month imprisonment and ordered to pay a fine. He was also dropped from his agency and banned from appearing on television for a span of time, as drug-related charges of any kind are a big taboo in South Korea. In the years since completing his probation without any violations, he's been working towards reclaiming his fame. His most recent controversies include being accused of tax evasion in 2023 and being sued by his manager for unpaid wages in 2024.